don't see any new faces on here. Do we have any new faces that are joining us here this morning? No.
Cody, real quick,
yes.
I was just registering for the Global Leadership Conference. Kristen put the link in the net. It came up as 149. Is there a
There's a discounted rate. Should be a $99 rate that you get by signing up through us. So that must not be the correct link. It ends on 7/18, the $99 rate, and it will jump up to 129. So we'll get
Tim,
you.
Yes.
I will put in the code right now that you enter in, so you will
Okay.
get that price. Okay, give me 1 second.
All right. Sorry to interrupt.
No, thanks for bringing that up to our attention, because we want you guys to have access to that. So no newbies. I want to continue to encourage you if you know somebody that you think would get a value out of this group and connecting with an amazing group of people here, want you to just encourage them to join us. I know it's bright and early at 7:30 on a Thursday morning, but a lot of good comments I continue to get from all of you that'll be of value. So if you come across somebody that you think would benefit and help the group, please share this with them, encourage them to come. We'll make sure that they get a chance to introduce themselves in front of the entire group. And we want to make sure that we can continue to connect them and grow our group as well. If you want to do a business share, we want to get you signed up. You can reach out to Kim. I believe we're scheduled all the way through August so far. So if you want to do that, please reach out to Kim. Let us know so that you can do that. We'll get you on the list so that you can share with all of us what you're doing, and we can help you continue to grow your business. And
yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I think, it's a great opportunity for everybody. I know a lot of people have done a business share here before, but I'd highly encourage you to sign up to do one via Zoom. It's great practice for when you get an opportunity to do a Zoom presentation for a prospective client. And in the new world that we're living in, that's a skill set that we'll all have to learn how to use effectively. So I highly encourage you to sign up and share with us a little bit more about your business in the new ways that we're learning about each other. But today we've got Ilya Davidov, who is going to be our business share. So Ilya, if you're ready, we can turn it over to you.
Oh, absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy to present for you my take on travel and where you can go. Many people have on their mind the first question, is it safe to travel? And I would like to clear the smoke right away. It is always safe to travel if you follow the proper guidelines and procedure. As you know, a lot of places right now start to open up. Disney just announced last week they start opening up the parks, and many major places as well as the cities start to open up based on focus what Disney does. And the reason being behind it, they are one of the most international traveled place. All people around the world love to travel to Disney no matter where they're at. And they take extra precaution to make sure that safety of children as well as adults are always in place. And if they say it's safe and they follow the protocol of safe distance, then it is safe to travel. Now, where can you travel to? Well, in my humble opinion, and from the training I've been taking for the past 3 or 4 months, I would say longest training I've ever taken, and it's all delightful to learn what countries as well as the hotels doing right now, including the airlines, to support people's concern of travel. And I could tell you that Caribbean right now opening up fast. Hotels are doing everything possible to welcome customers back and give them a feel of confidence. I'll run a couple videos with Cody's and Jordan's permission, so you guys could see exactly, maybe you have seen it, what they do, but I'd like to make sure that you are somewhat informed and aware of exactly what's happening. So a few things that I've jotted down from questions that I hear from my clients, valuable clients like yourselves. Where is it good to travel to? It is safe to travel to anywhere in the United States if you follow the proper protocol. Within the recent news that the numbers have been increased in, for instance, Arizona or Florida or other states, it is possible, considering that many of those increases in so-called COVID-19 is due to people had to go to places of hospitality because they could not have a procedure done from, say, February to about June. So the numbers a little bit inflated due to those people have been postponed for any medical, surgical procedures that they could not do before. So please don't afraid to ask questions people that know, like myself, my team of 10 people that work with me, or you could always check online. CDC is not always a valuable source, not putting them down, but their numbers are inflated significantly, in my opinion. And I know people from the my personal resources that have traveled and right now in Florida, for instance, and they say it's not as bad as we see on the news. Next thing is how to travel. Well, travel with confidence. Travel if you feel you could do it without pressing yourself, going beyond something that you're not comfortable with. Travel in your comfort level, basically. If you travel, make sure all your documents are in order. As one of the things that I've seen, especially now because the passport desk has been closed, you couldn't send for the passport through USPS or directly to postal service through a passport service. Make sure your passport is valid. If it's less than 6 months, it's highly unlikely you will be able to travel abroad. Best bet, stay in the States. See what you could do with a passport, get it renewed, go somewhere later once you get your passport situated. If you travel, make sure that you have no social media presence as you travel. Use the common sense. There's a lot of people that may take advantage of knowing you are not home and take your house for their gain benefit. So try not to post anything until you come back, all your great experiences. Now about the hotels and the airlines themselves, they're taking an extra precaution and making sure that safety of all the clients are in place. And again, with the Jordan's and Cody's permission, I would quickly show you one video. Well, actually, it's two, but we'll start with one for now. And this is a video from United Vacations. Give me 1 second, I'll plug that in. Okay, share. And here, if you'd like to quickly watch, there's a audio coming up, I'm not sure. Jordan, do you hear it?
No.
Okay, I'm not sure why it's not playing. Let me check here on my end.
Before you hit share, you have to hit the buttons at the bottom of the screen that say share audio and optimize video.
Oh, okay. Let me go back. Share audio. Okay, where is it at again, Bruce?
Bottom of your screen when you go to share screen. You have to start unshare first.
It's on the top right now.
Okay.
Unshared first? Okay. Okay, so stop sharing it.
Then go
All
back
right,
to
sorry
share.
about that. Okay, at the
Go back to
bottom, share sound. Okay, all right, got it. Thank you, sir. Let's go back quickly.
Feel safe on our
and
important to
I'll lower it a little bit. So there you go.
The sanitation of our airplanes is so important to United Airlines. The electrostatic sprayer is absolutely the best way to efficiently cover all surfaces of the airplane.
This technology is extremely effective. What it's trying to do is seek out everything in the opposite charged environment. So it's not falling on the floor.
No, sorry. I increased my
It's
screen.
wrapping
All right.
itself around every surface on the aircraft.
It allows us to get the disinfectant down into all the nooks and crannies of an airplane.
All right, so you kind of got an idea on this one, and let me share a video of the hotels, what they did and continue doing.
We already have the
us.
strictest quality controls
Sorry.
to guarantee our
There you go.
guests and team's health. Our new program, Purely Palace, goes beyond these stringent quality controls throughout all resort areas, with more than 140 preventative actions to assure everyone's health and safety.
Okay.
Let's begin with the team member access area. Each team member has their temperature checked before walking through a tunnel that sanitizes their uniform. Additional measures are in place to sanitize their footwear as well. Also, all team members are equipped with face masks, which are replaced every 4 hours. In all reception areas, we've installed floor markers indicating the correct distance our guests and team members must keep between each other. We have also placed acrylic protective barriers at all registration desks. In addition, each guest is asked to sign a declaration of health. All guests' luggage is subjected to an advanced disinfection process after their arrival. Plus, all golf carts, lobby to lobby, and general internal transportation are disinfected every 30 minutes or after being used by any guests. What's more, Palace Resorts offers online check-in through their Palace Resort.
All right, well, you got an idea. I didn't want to take too much time with being respectful to everyone. And I will share of those videos on chat here. You could more than welcome to click on it to see. It is also on my Facebook. I will share my information, my website, how you can contact us with any questions. We'll be happy to help you. Quick shout out that you didn't see is that hotels really do an enormous, incredible job. For the past decade, you've all probably experienced or seen, not necessarily physically, but you heard SARS. You had seen other pandemic like H1N1, Zika, Ebola. I mean, there's nothing wrong right now with being precautious due to COVID-19. However, it is better days coming, and they're coming fast, and it will be travel like never before. You will definitely experience something you have never seen because the hotels and airlines will do whatever it takes to make sure that comfort of every single traveler is there and safety, and you are happy with your experience. So if you will travel, you will notice several different things. Most places right now would love to use everything electronic, meaning if you're buying a ticket, it would be best if you download the website or application from that airline company to download your ticket. If you're registering to the hotel, most hotels have an application now which will allow you to register, pre-register online without you actually going to seeing representative. It will bypass in a process of waiting online, in line to get to your room. So you will get right through it if you go online and just register, and then you can go pick up the keys. Actually, some hotels started this process, I know, in Vegas first, and a lot of places have implemented and caught up to it. At the hotel, normal buffets in all-inclusives, you will find that are not the same as they used to be. It's not going to be served by you as an individual, but they will be served by sous chef or a chef behind a glass window. So if you need something, it will look like something like an ice cream parlor. So where you would walk in and say, I want this ice cream, this kind of ice cream. And someone will just put a scoop of ice cream into your cup and hand it to you. It will be similar to that. So you won't actually have your hands touched any of the public spoons, I guess, that everybody else would use it for your own safety and security. And as you notice that all the staff at the hotels will be wearing protective masks, gloves at all time, and they will change them periodically just again to give you safety as well as keep them in a good condition without being overly whelmed with the same mask at all time. So again, I don't want to be boring you with this information. It's exciting. I'd love to share with you. If you do have questions, I'd be happy to answer some now. I will share some links on the site right now with you, how to contact me at my company, how you can check some of these videos that I post on a Facebook, and you're more than welcome to contact me. Any single person here in the network that will purchase the vacation package or refer someone, our company would be delighted to give $10 donation to your favorite cause, to your favorite donation company. And but there is more. As the commercial always say, but wait, there's more. If your customer or you are one of our customers now and you refer another customer to us that will end up purchasing a vacation, we'll double that to $20. And again, it will go to a good cause. I do believe in reciprocity, and I do believe that good doesn't go without being noticed if you do good by others. So this is something, I guess, to keep in mind, that we'd like to support others and support definitely a good cause in charitable donations. Thank you, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. So Marvin posted in the chat, what about cruises? Do you know anything, or what precautions are cruises taking? Are they similar to airplanes or hotels? How's that working?
Yes, it's the same thing. Cruises has been postponed multiple times. Most cruises will not sail out until October. Look at it the same way as Disney. The reason they have been postponed, they've been hit hardest after pandemic broke, because a lot of people travel internationally to take cruises, no matter what variations. The reason this pandemic was worse than any other ones, because of the way we transfer right now and roam from place to place. And pandemic like this took effect globally because of that. If you take a century ago, when we didn't have airplanes, we didn't have ships that fast, and people did not commute in the cars, you will see that we had similar viruses that affected Europe or America, but not to the global degree. But in reality, it was somewhat similar, just a matter of changes right now to what it was before. So the answer to your question is that cruises are coming back. If you had the cruise postponed before, most cruises offer you two options: either credit back and additional 25%, or they will rebook you for the future trip. So you have an option until 2022 to rebook your cruise.
Has anybody traveled or planning to travel that you've noticed or seen different precautions in place?
I have already people that already booked and traveled. Right now I have several companies of groups of people that traveled to Dominican Republic as well as to Mexico. They loved it every minute because they've been treated like a super VIP, not just VIP. So from the moment you step to the airport, you will be requested to wear masks. The same on a plane, you will be asked to wear a mask. Most airlines taking an extra precaution, like a Southwest airline and I believe Alaska, both will check your temperature before you enter the airplane. Most airplanes right now do not close middle seats due to that it doesn't give 6 feet proximity, so it doesn't make sense. But you saw the video, they do put a lot of effort to clean the plane, asking you to wear masks for the protection of yourself and others, and making sure that your trip is comfortable. As you arrive to the destinations, you will not be required to wear masks on land if you are in, for example, in Mexico. But the staff, be that a driver that will pick you up to drop you off at the hotel, or hotel staff, will be required to wear a mask at all times. They will clean rooms before you arrive, as you saw on the clip, and after you depart with the anti-static system, and no one will enter your room for 24 hours after it's been cleaned. While you're at the rooms will be clean as well every day, just not into that maybe craziness degree of cleanliness that it goes through after you depart or arrival. In addition to that, they will be offering you masks just for your safety. If you feel like you wish to wear masks on the resort premises, they will offer you. It will be individually packed, sealed on a desk somewhere in the room, as well as a sanitizer. So you're more than welcome to use those, but you're not required. So those are a few things that I've been told, and I've seen it myself, actually.
Hey, Ilya, what about international flights, carriers? Are there any that you would recommend? My daughter lives in Ireland, and my wife and I talked about going to see her. Not now, we were going to. I said Ireland, I meant England. And we went a couple of years ago. But are there any carriers that you would recommend that seem to be a little bit more on top of this than others?
They all pretty much went up notch right now than where they used to be. So I can't tell you to pick one over the other. Pick the one is your best choice, you're comfortable with first. If I say United, I don't want to say others are not good. So I would say all of them are great. And you could see some of the videos they post on YouTube. And if they post it, trust you me, they follow it, okay? Because they won't put something they don't do, especially right now. They don't want to have a bad reputation. But keep in mind, England, I believe, one of the, not one, but many of few other countries overseas that do require you for 2 weeks self-isolation, right? And quarantine, yeah. So you either travel and you will be quarantined, or you could wait a little bit, and likely, hopefully, in August, everything will go back to somewhat norm than what it is today.
So when we would go to visit her, we would have to then be quarantined there for 2 weeks, right?
Now, yes. So if you go from now until the end of August, that's the requirement. But everything could change because several people I speak with, the International Tourist Board Agency, say that they change it every single week. Today they say until the end of August. Tomorrow they can come back and say, no, you know what? August 1st, it will be fine. You don't need to be quarantined for 2 weeks. So it's kind of one of those things. They play roulette every single day, and every day it changes rapidly. European Union right now does not allow Americans to travel to European Union because of the recent numbers increase, but no one actually promote them accurately. They say that it's due to COVID. It's not. Like I mentioned earlier, it is due to that people had to do a procedural work done, either be that surgery or some other medical procedures, and they had to attend the hospitalities. And hospitals now report higher amount of people than norm.
Well, thanks. We'll probably just drive.
Not to England, but yes.
Hey, he can try that too. But again, be careful, people, as you plan your travel, because I don't know if I'm sure you guys heard, like United yesterday announced that they are going to furlough 50% of their staff. That's 48,000 people by October. So the flights are going to be few and far between. They're going to be cramped, some of them. But just be careful. This may not be a good time to be traveling. There's a lot of changes. As Ilya said, things change weekly. So you have to be very careful. Don't do any long-term planning for travel at this time.
Aki, I appreciate that you brought this up. It's a wonderful thing you said. Thank you so much. Insurance. I cannot say this enough. Insurance is the top of your list should be. I always say I'd rather have you insurance and be the most waste of money that you spend than buy something and have an issue, be that airline tickets being canceled or you had to stay at the resort longer time and you had to pay extra fee and you weren't unaccounted for that cost, but now it's costing you money, or God forbid if it's medical. So insurance, always a place that you need to consider to buy before your trip or with the trip as you're buying it. And to Keith's point, yes, all the airlines have received payment from the government and the stimulus, and they have it until September to keep all their people on payroll. And it's the same with United, Delta, American, all the major airline fleet. They are not flying at full force right now, so unless they pick up, they will have to reduce the staff. So it's actually a catch-22. Because they're not flying it at full, they will reduce the staff. But as they see that, trips are picking up, people are willing to travel, the likelihood that people will be coming back to work. There's a 10,000 people right now at Delta that is right now on a furlough to be also laid off because of that. So I absolutely with you on that, Aki. Thank you so much for bringing this up.
Scott, last question, and then we're gonna keep going here.
Yeah, Ilya, I was told that Southwest Airlines and Delta are very good at not filling the middle seat. American and United are not so. So I would probably steer my business to Southwest or Delta. The other question I have for you is, what do you know about motorhome travel? I hear it's the way to go these days in the U.S.
I personally love road trips. And I highly encourage you, the same way I would say about cruises, because there's no experience like being on a cruise. On the RV, it's the best way to travel to see a lot of places in the United States. I actually have a couple that does that when they travel to Europe. So when you do rent an RV, just make sure, again, use your best judgment. Where you renting it from? Make sure that it's fully been sanitized to the degree that you're taking something, unless it's your RV, I'm not sure. But if you're taking it for rent, you want to make sure it's clean, it's packed, and it's in good condition, and it's working. A few people have been concerned with, if someone else traveled before me. Well, I said, obviously you have to be concerned because you don't know who it was before you, and has it been clean and sanitized properly. So this is something you always need to address to a rental place to have some sort of, I don't want to say certification, but some sort of proof that they did actually some sort of work to a degree that they show you that you could be comfortable and traveling with confidence.
Thanks for sharing that, Ilya, and thanks for sharing with all of us, all the updates on travel in the U.S. and internationally right now. I think most of us probably haven't had an opportunity to travel, so this is good information for all of us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I will drop on everyone's list my contact information as well as the Facebook. Please don't hesitate to contact. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have for me. My team is standing by. We are busy, and I am looking to expand. If there is someone you may know that would be interested to learn a new profession, please let me know. I'd be happy to speak to that individual and see if there is a benefit for us to be together to work and to expand. So I definitely would look forward for that as well. So if you know someone looking for a job again, we are expanding, we are busy. We would love to have someone added to our staff to grow our business.
Awesome. Thank you, Ilya. All right, up next, I think we've got some time here for some chamber announcements. Carol, is that your job today?
Yep, that'd be me. Greetings, everybody. Boy, I'm ready for vacation. I don't know about everybody else. It sounded really enticing. So thanks for that great update on travel. We're not going to the Caribbean with the chamber, but we're calling all golfers. And if you love a day out in the fresh air on a beautiful golf course in Vernon Hills, and networking, food, beverage, raffles, all fun, and your ultimate day of golf, join us on August 19th. It's going to be from about 8 to 4. We're changing up the format a little this year. It will be breakfast and lunch rather than lunch and dinner, so there'll be no dinner. But there'll be a 19th hole cocktail reception at the lunch. So we have spaces open for golfers and sponsors, and we need raffle prizes. We're actually doing pretty well. It's over a month out, and we're filling up. So our early bird rates are good till July 15th for golf. It's $125 per person or $475 for a foursome. And our sponsorships are going well. Our hole sponsors are the most popular. You can sit out at your hole and visit with the golfers as they come through and pass out your promotional material and distribute your flyers and maybe play a quick little brief game with them. So everybody loves the golf outing. It's been very popular. It still is. So even if you don't golf, come on out and join us. You can come to lunch or you can be a sponsor. You want to help us volunteer, that would be great too. So we've got a few people on this Freedom.
Carol, we lost you. We lost your sound. Carol, we can't hear you.
For that, our conversations group meets Fridays, 1st and 3rd. So next Friday will be that group. And we're into scheduling some of our August events. Our WOW group will meet on location, and our roundtable will resume again. So we'll be doing things from both on location and via Zoom. So there's no excuse for not being there. And so that's about it for now. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you hopefully at the golf outing. If you have questions, just put them in the chat box or contact the chamber or myself. Watch your emails, all the events, member promotions, everything's going out in those emails. And join our Facebook groups. We've got several, and you can post and share your promotions on there as well. So let us know if you need help in any way. We're here to help your business, and it's going well. So keep us in mind, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Carol.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna do a condensed ultimate resource here because I want to make sure that we have time to connect in our breakout rooms. I've been finding those to be very powerful way to continue to connect with each other here, and we can help each other during these times. And one thing that I do is I like to journal because it gives me a chance to reflect upon my day, my week, my month, my quarter, etc. And in those times of reflection are great learning opportunities for me to really evaluate, hey, what's working, what's not working, how can I continue to improve and get better? And we recently, as a team here at the Trinell Financial Group, worked with Daphne and Jim, who have attended this group from Fire Transformation. And we did a fire walk with them here this Monday evening. And it was absolutely an amazing experience. And I know that we talked about doing that as a group here in Freedom One. So when things get back to people coming together, that's something that we'll absolutely do. But it was through that experience that it was just an amazing, she calls it transformation, of just a transformation. I mean, to walk on burning hot coals and not get burnt or feel it, you can't explain what you go through. And I share that because when you journal, there's some aha moments that you're gonna have that you'll have like these immense breakthroughs. And what I wanna share with you here today is just, I personally feel that we are on the other side of this COVID. Yes, is COVID still out there and are cases still increasing? Yes. But businesses have adapted and evolved, right? We just heard Isla talk about travel and what airlines and hotels are doing to cope with this new normal, so to say, that we are experiencing. And as I've reflected upon, COVID and this racism and everything that's going on in our world, there was several things that really stuck out for me personally. And as you go into your breakout rooms today, I want you to have this conversation. What are some of the things that you've experienced or learned during this time? I'm going to share with you some of the points that I wrote down that I've experienced because of COVID and everything that's going on. First is, it's absolutely amazed me how something like COVID can bring everybody together and unite an entire nation and an entire world, because we're all going through this together. But on the opposite side of that, when we make an unjust act of something of what happened with Mr. Floyd, right? How it can divide an entire nation that was so united at one time of like, we're all in this together, to nope, we're seeing total differences. And at the Global Leadership Summit, Bear Grylls talked, and he shared 5 points that we all have in common when we're going through the journey of life that can help connect us and have conversations around. And those 5 points that he talked about are, we all have fears. every single one of us have fears that go through our minds at different times. We all experience failure. All of us have failed at different points in times, right? And a lot of times at those failures, we're at our lows, but it's from those failures that we can continue to learn to move forward. During our journey, right, it's the relationships that are formed. And as we were isolated in COVID, and as we're having conversations about social injustice that's going on, right, you really find out what are the depth of the relationships you have with the people you surround yourselves with. There's a fire that burns inside all of us, is another point that he makes. It's really interesting. We were at the fire transformation, right? And we're talking about fire, and here there's a flame in each and one of us. We all have different gifts that we have been given, and our fire burns differently. But it's when we can come together and collaborate and connect with each other of what gets all of us excited and revved up is where we can really connect with each other. And then lastly, is the faith. You got to have faith, right, of being willing to step forward in times of uncertainty when we don't really know what's going on, right? So here we're talking about travel, and it's changing from week to week. We've been going from COVID, and it's like, oh, it's going to open up at this timeline, and then that timeline changes, and now there's a new timeline. We're really in this new world of uncertainty. And wrapping my head around that, honestly, has been a really big challenge. It's been a challenge for my business. It's been a challenge for me and my family of what are we planning? How are we going to do? But in the midst of all that, there's been a lot of amazing things that have really uncovered themselves as well. One of those things that I got to make sure that I give a shout out to is I got an amazing wife. For all of you who have kids and you had to stay home and have a full-time job and parent and teach, oh my gosh, like, wow. What has been put on us that wasn't before, to come out of that and be able to do that is absolutely amazing. So if you're a spouse, husband or wife, doesn't matter. If you experienced and made it through that, it just makes you realize, man, like, we as people can adapt to almost anything, which is awesome. I really got to know myself better. So being isolated, working from home in a different environment than I already was, you really start to explore yourself to learn to say, man, I'm going to try some new things and see how this goes. And there's some things that I found that I'm like, I really don't like this, or I'm not good at this. And one of those things for me was I work best coming to work. I worked at home and I tried to do it, and it just didn't work for me. Right? I've always wanted to work from home. I wanted to do the stereotypical wake up, go out to my office and not wear any pants to work. You know, it just wasn't for me. So I got to experience that and answer some of those questions. And I just know myself a little bit better of, hey, I operate and am more productive when I actually go into work, right? That's just one of the examples that I learned about myself. I've been having a lot of conversation with business owners and other people, and it's really apparent the people that have evolved are way further ahead than the people who have not evolved. And I'm not talking about the businesses that were already working remotely and they were there. For them, this was like, hey, we're already doing this. But for those companies that had to drastically change of how they deliver services and products to their clients, are so much further ahead in their mental state of how they think, but also how they have evolved to deliver the value to the people that they're meeting with. Another thing is routines are absolutely key. So I have a routine that I do every single morning, and I've continued my routine even throughout these times. And it has just been that thing that has grounded me. It's been the certainty in my life with everything that's so uncertain and changing that's going on outside of there. If you don't have a routine, I'd encourage you to really look at developing that. I've been able to save money, right? Not going out and not doing a lot of stuff. It's amazing, right? I'm already saving money. I've been able to save more money which has been a really positive thing. It's forced me to create some new habits that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten to if this didn't happen. Both good and bad habits. I would like to break some of those bad habits, like eating so much food. And lastly is just, I miss people. I'm an introvert, and it's bad when introverts start missing people. Right? I mean, that's like, whoa, man, you've been isolated way too long. And what I've found is that I feed off the energy of people. And when I can be in community and around people, I love that. I absolutely love that. Zoom gives me a taste, but having the real person energy is something that is I never want to take for granted. So those are just some of the things as I reflected upon and was thinking through, like, what have I learned from this experience? There's been a lot of great blessings and opportunities that have come from this. Everything from realizations of racism exists and how do we continue to evolve and change for the better with that, to, man, no one in a million years would have guessed that, hey, we're going to be shut down the entire world because of a pandemic of COVID for this long of a period of time with our modern technology and medicine that we have. It's crazy. So as we go to our breakout rooms, I encourage you to think about the question of, what have you learned? What have you learned or taken away from being isolated as we do that? So we got about the next 12 minutes or so. We'll do our breakout rooms, and then we'll come back here and we'll finish up and wrap up our Thursday morning here at Freedom One. So look forward to having you all back in the room so we can break it down and connecting with you in the breakout rooms.
I think Joe's still talking, Tim.
Keep talking, Joe. They took us out of the room too quick.
It was good. I learned a lot. Is he still talking?
No.
It wasn't.
I didn't hear it. Could you start over?
Yeah. Thanks for asking, Mary.
No, it was great. I'm glad I did.
Does anybody, so we got a couple minutes here before 8:30, just 1 minute looks like now. Does anybody have any big takeaways or ahas that they had from the breakout room that they'd like to share?
Yes, I do, Cody. I think you should get Rock one of those foot baths for when you come in the office, what I saw in that video.
Step on your shoes to disinfect them?
Yeah,
Oh, I
keep
love
the rugs
that.
real clean. Keep the rugs clean, Cody.
I'd like to do that for my house.
And make sure your nose hairs are cut.
Hey,
I
Cody.
don't have any. I don't have.
I talked to two people this morning that I haven't yet talked to, at all the Freedom One meetings that we've gone to. So that's a big deal.
That's a good thing.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
I don't
And
know,
I said,
Mary.
I'm one of those people persons like you're saying, Cody. I need to be in the office, but it's kind of nice. This Zoom has allowed us to meet other people that typically we wouldn't associate with.
Totally agree.
I did
All right,
talk
so-
to, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rich. I'm going to close things up unless you want to share.
Okay, I just talked to Ken from Mastercraft, and he's doing okay. So they moved him to another facility right now, but he's coming along.
Good to hear that. I saw Stephanie Smith Howard also posted here an update of how she's doing with everything. She's putting some more weight back on, trying a new treatment. So you could continue to keep both them in your prayers and thoughts would be really awesome. All right, let's wrap it up here for today. Marvin, I'm going to put you on the spot. You got a John Maxwell leadership message to send us off here today, my friend?
Leaders seek for ways to add value, especially in uncertain times. So my challenge to you is, in the midst of all of the pandemic, in the midst of all of the noise, introspect and look at how I can add value, how you can add value in these uncertain times. Because so many people are just falling prey to the noise and the pandemic, you will be a breath of fresh air because you're looking to add value and to people. Thank you very much.
Love it. I love it, Marvin. Thank you, my friends. Thanks for sharing that message. Everybody have an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you back here next Thursday or hopefully talk to you sooner. Take care, everybody.
Bye.